In today's video, we're going to explore leveraged yield farming. We're going to use stablecoins, so we're as risk-free as we possibly can be, and we're going to use the yields and the returns that VFAT has been printing for us. I'm probably sitting on more than $2,000 of profit this week. Yep, 2,248 USDC. Remember, in VFAT, you can go to harvest, you can set up your auto harvest settings, and I'm in USDC. Remember, they do take a 1.2% fee, but that's a fee I'm happy to pay to have the platform help me grab profits every single day. By the way, before we get too deep into this, and do let me know if you want videos like this. Like, we can share probably hundreds of different strategies here on YouTube. Just whatever it is you want, leave it in the comments, and we'll most likely make a video around it. Two quick things. The podcast has released. This is the audio experience. I will leave a link in the description or in the comments. Just let me know, hey, I want access to the podcast. 5 minutes per day. We call it the DeFi bath. It's going to keep you plugged into different strategies, different ways of thinking, mindset, and really a financial and investor education. 2, UIG 4.0 has officially launched. It's cleaned up. There's less confusion. We don't want members hunting for things forever. Like, everything's just streamlined. Everything is clear. Plus, the new investor challenge is out where you earn badges as you work through the challenge. Final thing we're working on is income badges. We've had members hit everything from $1,000 a month to $5,000 a month to $10,000 a month. We had someone doing $25,000 a month. In Fast Track, we have someone doing $5,000 per day, which I don't know what that is. That's probably $100K. That's over $100K per month. Wild stuff. And that way you can identify which members are doing how much, and you can have conversation with them. That's going to be super cool. Back to leveraged yield farming. So with VFAT is kicking me out on average about $2,000 a week in USDC. This is called yield on yield, which, by the way, also in the UIG, you can go into the investor strategies. You'll notice we are adding a bunch from beginner to advanced. But what we're talking about here is yield on yield. Normally, I would take my yields from VFAT and then I would lend them out. Now we're going to do yield on yield, where you can take your yields, you can yield them out into another liquidity pool, and then from that liquidity pool, you can take those yields and then lend them out. Now you're getting triple yield on your initial investment. Let me know if you're following along so far. I do want these videos conversational. If something lands, like the video, subscribe, and please leave a comment. It helps us out a ton for creating new content. So any questions you have, let us know. So I've got the USDC sitting in my wallet, again, around 2,248 USDC, and this dollar USDC is offering 60%. Now, that does mean taking on some leverage and borrowing some money in order to get levered up. The great thing is extrafi makes that very, very easy to do. Now, what you will need is 10,000 V extra. You get V extra by staking your extras. So if you do plan on using leverage, we've been using leverage for quite a while. That's where we 5x'd our OVN USDC and 5x'd our Aero because we were levered up while the price was surging. You will have to stake some extra to get your V extra. Once you have 10,000 V extra, you can do some really fancy stuff. Like dollar USDC, $62 million over on aerodrome, and we can get some leverage here. So I'm going to go farm. Now, extrafi also makes it easy because it'll break things up for you. So I could go 2,000 USDC. So I'm taking my yield and I'm going to earn some yield on it, and it'll break it up into dollar and into whatever assets I need it broken up into. And then I'll take on 5x leverage. Of course, I have access to this because I have my 10,000 V extra. If you don't, you won't be able to take on as much leverage. As you can see, there is still some borrowing room, so I can take on this leverage. Sometimes you'll find that you can't take anymore because it's maxed out. They're at their utilization cap. I'm going to go confirm. I'm going to allow USDC $2,000. Next, approve. And then I will approve the transaction. And there we go, transaction confirmed. So now if I go into my farms, you'll notice, and you'll always notice a deficit right off the bat. Don't be concerned about that. That was the price I had to pay right off the bat to open up a leverage position. But look at this, $10,000. That's wild. And again, dollar and USDC, the chance of dollar and USDC moving in value is pretty much slim to none. Now, if that interests you and you were bullish on something, or let's just say there was really clear bullish signs on an asset you're watching, you can get 75% on ETH. You get 2,200% on BAVA, which some of our clients are in, by the way. Now, again, you're taking on more and more risk here. Wouldn't recommend it unless you really know what you're doing and you really understand BAVA, but the opportunity is there. OVN USD plus 1,048%. Now remember, OVN is a lower market cap. I'm all stacked up on VFAT with OVN, and I just not willing to take leverage on OVN because it moves too fast. So remember, with leverage, you can move quicker to the upside, but you'll also move quicker to the downside. What else we got? USDC Arrow, 350% with 4x leverage. But again, I think this is such a great example of what we've just done because it's a stablecoin pegged to a stablecoin making 60%, running circles around Wall Street all day long. I mean, think banks will give you 1%, Wall Street might give you 8%. If you're a really savvy investor, maybe you can get to 20, 25% for the average investor. We're doing that on a stablecoin all day long. Now, again, you do have to remember, I did pay some fees. And so it'll take me a couple days to recoup those fees. But after that, I've got $10,000 working for me. And we do see people sometimes with less capital, they're able to take leveraged positions on bets that they've really, really thought through long and hard, and they're willing to take the bet on it. And again, they can make 4 or 5 times more because they're taking on leverage and they have more capital at play. And that's that. Do let me know in the comments if you want more videos like that. I'm going to be basically moving most of my earnings from VFAT now onto some leveraged yield farming positions. I'm also sitting on a bunch of stable coins just from taking profit over the last few weeks. So I'm going to deploy it in this leveraged position and enjoy the 50-60% for a while, which will be pretty cool. That said, if you do want more videos on VFAT or on any of our yield farms, or on Aerodrome or on Uniswap, or for entering or exiting or any of our criteria, do let me know. Check out the podcast. Do let me know in the comments. We'll make sure we zap you a link. You also have a chance to win $500 just for being a listener, subscribing, and leaving a review on the podcast. With that said, I'm going to get out of here. Let me know if I can serve you in any other way. And with that said, we'll see you in the next video. Peace.